And you think I can find the killer?
You're a stranger here. That means you might see things I won't.
What kind of logic is that?
To be honest, I think this is a dead-end job. But Ragnar, against all the evidence, seems to think it was a berserker that killed Ascor, and he wants answers. Me, I think it's a wild goose chase. None of Ragnar's questioning has thrown up any proof a berserker was involved in this, so chances are it was an alb, an outlaw, or a reaver. But if a warlord has an itch to scratch, then that means we have to go and scratch it. So, let's cross all these suspects off the list and give them some closure.
Is this why you brought me to Goliath? To do your dirty work?
I brought you to Goliath to give you a chance. And this is a way to earn it by getting a warlord on your side.
What do you want me to ask them?
Where they were 3 months ago around Mana's Eve when the crime was committed. What they thought of Ascor. I doubt you'll get a confession. I doubt any of them did it, but you'll get a sense of the men, and then you can report back to me so we can close the case.
Where can I find them?
They're all still out there. Track them down, then report back to me when you've discovered something.
Tell me, what do you know about Ascor's murder?
Nothing really. I don't hear much from Goliath out here.
So, you were here when he was killed?
Probably. I haven't been anywhere else in months. I only go back for supplies or to transport seedlings. When was Ascor killed?
3 months ago, around Mana's Eve.
Then I was back in Goliath sometime around then. I've lost track, to be honest, but whenever it was, I didn't see anything.
How well do you know Ascor?
Not at all. I mean, I knew of him, people talked about him, but I don't think I ever said more than hello to him, and he ignored me. He didn't really have time for cultivators. But, you know, people can be like that. Some value our work, others think they're superior somehow.
Do you know where they found Ascor's body?
I'm guessing somewhere in the forest, or why ask me, right?
Did you hear anything else about Ascor?
Well, I'm wondering why you're not asking me about the seedling that disappeared the same night Ascor was murdered. No one seems to be asking about it, and from what I heard, it wasn't just a seedling, it was one close to maturity. I heard it was being sent to a cultivator in the hope it could go on to Tavar or somewhere as a new world heart. But it never arrived.
Do you carry a sword?
Of course.
You were
It didn't. But yeah.
I don't think...
Me? Of course I didn't.
You really don't think you have a motive?
You mean the seedling he had? I'm a cultivator. I look after a world heart. I want to know what happened to the seedling he had. Why aren't you investigating where it went?
You're out.
If...
That's better.
A berserker was killed. The body was found in the forest.
The forest is a dangerous place.
When were you last in the forest by Goliath?
I don't know. Not for a year. This is the best area for hunting, and all Goliath cares about is me filling my quota. As long as I send them meat and fur, I can stay out here away from small talk and politics.
Do you always hunt with a bow?
A bow? Traps? You should always try and... I'm here to...
berserker who was murdered was called Ascor. Did you know him?
Ascor? That asshole? Yeah, I knew him. I kept out of his way. He kissed Ragnar's ass and treated everyone else like rot boar shit.
You didn't like Ascor.
I didn't put myself in a position where I needed to. Little shit won't be missed.
Sounds like you had a grudge.
I think most people are assholes. You only asked me about Ascor.
Sociable guy, aren't you?
Sociable just means happy to talk shit. I don't talk shit. What's with all these questions? Is some asshole trying to pin this on me?
I'm questioning anyone I meet out here.
If you want an alibi for me, you'll have to go out there and speak to the raptors.
Is that your only alibi?
I'm a hunter. You want to know where I am? I'm always here in the forest.
Teach me something.
Sure.
Keep it short, I'm tired.
I need to ask you about Ascor's murder.
I can't tell you anything about that. Not anything that's not being said already. He should have kept his head down like me. Ambition only gets you dead. He should have picked his spot and stayed there. Why are you interested in that? Really?
You look quite strong for somebody who's just standing around all day.
Maybe. And?
Have you been trained to use that sword?
All berserkers are. You think I could survive?
Did you know Ascor well?
Since we were old enough to crawl, our parents were friends. We grew up like brothers.
Tell me what you do know about the murder.
Me? I only know what people are saying. But they thought Ascor had run away, but he hadn't. He'd been murdered somewhere out in the forest. I was out here at the time, on guard duty.
Did anyone see you? Is there anyone who can give you an alibi?
Hilda. She was with me all night. Her and Alba, and Dagny, and Erica, Freya, Garrett, Heggie, Magda. They're the trees over there. They're my girls. Very lonely out here. So no, I have no alibi.
Ascor's body was found near here. Did you see it?
No. I know where he was found. But no, I didn't. And I'm glad I didn't see him. I wouldn't want to remember him like that. My duties keep me here most of the time. So I stay looking after my girls, the trees, making sure they stay safe.
Where do you go when you do get away?
Nearby. Not Goliad, if that's what you mean. I tend to stay out here these days.
Where nearby?
The lift into the Valley of the Damned. That's a good place to relax. There's quite the view of the valley there. It's a good place to let your worries just drift away. I hope you find who did it.
Maybe you did it. You knew him. You don't have an alibi.
Well, why would I kill him? He was my friend.
Why should I believe you?
Because it sounds like you're doing something about this, like you want to find out who did it. You should start with people who had a problem with him, not his friends.
Your friend Ascor. What kind of man was he?
Well, he wasn't a simple guy. He was my friend. Our parents were friends. We basically grew up as brothers. But he was sort of ambitious, and that sometimes, well, made him an ass. Listen, it doesn't matter. Just forget what I said.
Ambition could give a motive, if he got in someone's way.
Well, don't look at me. I'm happy where I am. I don't give a troll's ass about promotion.
berserker Ascor has been murdered.
Ascor? How did that happen?
What weapon do you use?
A sword.
Do you have proof of where you were 3 months ago?
I don't know. I don't keep a diary. Depends on the day and the orders. Sometimes I was digging shit alone, sometimes finding supplies alone, sometimes marching around and building stuff where they told me to. Those days I was with people. I just did whatever they said. I didn't want to be exiled to the valley.
Were you close to Goliath 3 months ago?
No, I was out in the forest gathering supplies before I traveled out to the World Hard. I've not been close to Goliath for a year. Once I had the supplies, I came straight out to Abessa. Wait, you don't think I was involved, do you?
Did you know Ascor?
Yeah, he was an arrogant asshole. He'd have done anything for promotion. It's his sort that make me want to say this. Fuck the berserkers.
You don't seem happy as a cultivator. Did you ever think of seeking promotion?
Man, I would have to be able to read first. You can't exactly climb the career ladder if you can't read. Ascor could. That guy wanted to do everything to get promoted. He hated anyone else who could read, especially if they weren't born in Goliath.
I don't think you killed Ascor.
Shit, what? You thought I did that? No way, I wouldn't have risked that, even though he was an asshole.
As you say. Ascor is dead.
Dead? What the hell happened to him?
He was murdered.
Damn. I knew it. He was just too ambitious.
How long have you been away from Goliath?
Just over 3 months. Since then, I've been here, trying to survive in the beautiful islands of Abessa. Trying to manage an outpost with too few people and too few supplies.
And you have witnesses to your whereabouts?
Yeah. More if we can find that missing supply team. This camp by the World Hard is where I've been, and this is where I'll stay until the warlords order me back.
You must be good with a sword to have got posted out here.
Not good enough to hit someone in Edan from here, if that's what you mean.
When did you last see Ascor?
Just over 3 months ago. Not long before I came out here.
You knew Ascor well?
Yeah, I asked if he could come out here on this assignment. But he stayed back in Goliath so he could take the warrior test.
Can you think of anyone who might have done it?
Me? No. Well, not specifically. He's ambitious, or was ambitious. He always wanted to become a paladin. Last I heard, he was due to be tested by Ragnar along with some other candidates. Passing that test was all he ever wanted.
So, what do you think got him murdered?
I don't know. Ascor was a good man. Well, he was to me. But he could wind people up. Maybe he got the wrong person pissed with him. Maybe someone else was as ambitious as him.
It's obvious you didn't do it.
Yeah, well, I hope you'll find who did.
I think Ragnar must just have wanted you eliminated from suspicion.
He said to question me?
Yes, Duras told me.
Duras? Well, he's a man who stands by his duty. I hope the two of you find the murderer.
I'm working on it.
Look into whoever might have been a rival for Ascor. That's my advice.
About Ascor's murder. I don't think Baron did it. Ascor was his friend, and Baron just wants to be left alone. I don't see why he'd murder anyone.
All right. Even though he knew Ascor better than most, yeah, you're right. He doesn't have the energy or the motive. Frankly, I only think Ragnar wanted Baron questioned in case he had seen anything. It looks like he didn't. Let's take him off the list for now.
Morgal wasn't anywhere near Goliad at the time of the murder, and he has witnesses to prove it.
Yeah, he's also too skilled a fighter to have left Ascor such a bloody mess. So, he's out as a suspect.
Garen just wants to hunt. He didn't like Ascor, but I don't think he killed him. Besides, if he had killed Ascor, he'd have used his bow, not a sword.
Yeah, all Garen wants is to hunt. He'd have no motive for this.
It's not conclusive, but I don't think it was him.
I agree. I don't think it was him either. Let's take him off the list.
Eardor didn't have time to commit a murder. He's tending to the world hard and looking after supplies. Besides, he's just too weak to have killed Ascor in the way you described.
Yes, I agree. I don't think Eardor was capable of this. That's one less suspect for us.
Rock wasn't anywhere near Goliad when the murder was committed. He didn't like Ascor, but I don't think he could have done it. I'd say he didn't kill Ascor.
I didn't think he would have the opportunity, but Ragnar insisted I look into him. I guess Ragnar was wrong.
You recently became a warrior, didn't you? You and Ascor are both eligible to be paladins.
Yes, but trust me, I'm happier with my job collecting waifs and strays than becoming a paladin and going out to the front lines. I think I'm making more of a difference doing what I'm doing. Ascor, though, was a driven man. Becoming a paladin was all he wanted.
You were right. The investigation was a waste of time. It must have been someone outside Edan. All of his suspects are innocent.
It's Ragnar we'll have to convince. He is certain one of them did it. He's not often wrong.
Then who do you think it was?
I don't know.
Then tell Ragnar that.
What about Baron? He didn't have a proper alibi, did he?
There was no one there to say he was at his post, and of all the suspects, he knew Ascor the best.
Then it must be him. The others all have alibis. Baron knew Ascor better than the others.
I thought you said Ragnar only included Baron in case he saw something.
Ragnar wants answers. He's insisting the murderer is found. You've questioned everyone, and Baron's the only one without a decent alibi. Do you know where Baron is?
I found him in the forest, but he said he takes time off to go to the lift into the Valley of the Damned.
Then we should go there and see what we find. You want me to come with you?
What do you think we'll find there?
Who knows? But we don't have any evidence so far, so it feels like we should check this clue out. At least so we can tell Ragnar that we did.
All right. I'll search the area near the lift that Baron talked about. What is it I'm looking for?
We won't know until we find it. Have a look around, bring me anything you find. Just don't interfere with it.
What do you mean, interfere?
Bring anything you find to me without disturbing it.
Then you know what it is.
No, I'm warning you. Do what I say.
Right.
Just trust me. Your life might depend on it.
I could use your...
Then you have it. I know.
Can you use it, though?
Yeah, I'll deal with any trouble.
Then let's go. There's an abandoned...
You lead, I'll...
Follow me.
Yeah.
All technology must be consigned to the past. Take it to the pit.
Remarkable country.
I found something hidden in Baron's hiding place.
What'd you find?
Here, do you think this could belong to Baron?
No, that was Ascor's. And now we find it at a place Baron confesses coming to regularly? Huh, I'd say we have some evidence.
I solved your case for you, Duras.
You got to the truth. For that, I thank you. I'll take things from here.
Is that everything you have to say?
The destruction of a seedling is a matter for a warlord. Your involvement is over.
Uh-huh. So what happens now?
I take this to Ragnar. He'll deal with it from here.
You want to know what I think about the murder?
Very well. What do you think?
Well, I don't think any of the people on the list did it. There's just not the proof. There's only one person associated with Ascor we've not investigated. You.
Me?
You were a rival to Ascor. You carry a sword. Then you find out Baron goes to where the seedling was found, and suddenly think he's a prime suspect.
You can't think I did it.
I do. It's simple. You murdered Ascor.
What are you talking about? You can't seriously think it was me.
Tell me your alibi.
You don't know what you're talking about.
You spend your time outside Goliad, and you spend all your time trying to persuade me not to investigate this. Then tell me. Tell me, or you'll have to tell Ragnar.
Ragnar will see me dead. I'm an outsider, and Ascor was born a berserker. He was known, and he was one of Ragnar's favorites.
So you did kill him?
Kill him? Yes. Murder him? No. I found Ascor by the lift one day. He'd managed to kill the seedling he'd been given. He knew that would stop him becoming a paladin. He attacked me.
So why hide that? And why frame Baron?
Baron's been blackmailing me. He found me with Ascor's body. He knows I'm an outsider. Who would they believe? Who do you believe? I gave you a chance. Won't you do that for me?
I can see why you did it. I'll keep your secret.
Thank you. You don't know what a weight this has been. I owe the berserkers. Now I owe them more. I didn't want him dead, but he flipped on me. I don't think it helped that it was me. He couldn't stand the idea that he'd be facing exile while I continued on as a warrior.
What is in the casket?
Property that belongs to the berserkers. You now know who the murderer is. That's what you needed to discover.
Ragnar wants answers. This won't be over until he's happy he has them. Time for you to step aside and let me finish this.
What do you mean?
I solved the murder. I will get the reward.
Wait a moment.
I could tell Ragnar that murderer wasn't a berserker.
You could also tell him it was me.
You'll have to take that risk.
You don't believe I can let you go to Ragnar after that?
Then draw your weapon or trust me.
Then do it. But quickly. The sooner we have it behind us, the better.
You ordered the warrior Duras to investigate Ascor's murder?
Yes. Ascor was a trusted and well-liked member of our people. So it was only right that his murder should be investigated by Duras. Justice will be done. Ascor's murderer must face the punishment they deserve.
I have some information about Ascor's murder.
Anything you know would be helpful. What have you learned?
The murderer isn't anyone from Goliad.
How do you know this?
None of the suspects had a clear motive or opportunity. It makes sense that it was an outsider. There is a war on, after all.
So why was Ascor killed?
For the seedling. My guess, it was a simple robbery. Ascor refused to hand over the seedling and was killed for it.
So Ascor died honorably defending the seedling? I had started to hear grumblings about Ascor, but defending a seedling to the death, that is the man I knew. You stand for the law, and you see good men die for it. So we have an answer. There would never be a good result to this tragedy. But knowing that this foul murder was not committed by one of our brothers is as much as I could hope for. I will consider this matter closed. My thanks to you and to Duras for bringing me this closure. You did well to bring this information to me. Here, take this reward as thanks for ending this matter. I am surprised you solved this before Duras. You shouldn't rely on machines.